Hey, LCC family, Pastor Mike here. We are in day 3 of our journey through Passion Week. Again, I want to encourage you, don't let familiarity let you lose the power to this week and to all that Jesus Christ did for us. And as we go through this, really take some time and put yourself in the place of the people in this story. You and I, we know how it ends up. Jesus knew how it ends up, but the disciples, the people around him, did not. So we are in day 3. This is when Judas decides that he's going to betray Jesus. So we're going to read in Luke 22, just the first 6 verses for this day. So Luke 22, verse 1 says, "Now the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. And the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. Then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, one of the 12. And Judas went to the chief priests and officers of the temple guard and discussed with them how he might betray Jesus. They were delighted and agreed to give him money. He consented and watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over to them when no crowd was present." 2 days before Jesus' death, the religious leaders were freaking out. Remember, they didn't know that Jesus was going to die in 2 days. They didn't know how this thing was going to play out. They were probably thinking to themselves something like, man, this guy's only been around for like 3 years, and he's already got this much of a following. How much more is he going to be in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? What are we going to do with him if he ever gets to that point? So they were really looking for a way to end this whole thing that Jesus had going. Now, one thing that you have to see in this passage, it says the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. There's 2 things we're going to focus on in this short passage here. First one we have to do is in the first couple verses here. Chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. First of all, when your plans are evil, we have to worry about others' reaction to it. And we have to do it in secret. There's a very easy way to tell if your heart is evil, if your plans are evil, or your actions are evil. Are you doing them in secret, or are you doing them in public? Are you worried about people's reactions, or are you okay with how they react either way because you know you're not doing wrong? Evil means you have to do it in secret. Right means you can do it publicly. And these Pharisees were looking for a way to kill Jesus, and they had to do it secretly. They had to do it privately because they were scared of people's reactions. If you are scared of someone's reactions, if you are constantly doing things and being scared that you're going to be found out, being scared of how you're going to explain yourself if someone finds out. How am I going to explain myself if somebody finds out I'm doing this? If I'm watching this show, if I'm doing this in the privacy of my own room, whatever it is. If you're scared of people's reactions, that's a good indication that you shouldn't do what you're about to do, because evil has to operate in secret. Okay? The other thing I see in this, it's such a short part to this whole story, but it stood out to me in a big way for today. It says, "And Judas went to the chief priests and officers of the temple guard, discussed with them how he might betray Jesus, and they were delighted." They were delighted. The men who were doing something so evil that they had to do it in secret were delighted with Judas. Wow. Be careful. Be careful who you're delighting. Whew. Be careful who you're making happy. Be careful the type of people who are delighted in what you're doing. Are you delighting your Heavenly Father? Are you delighting your mother and father? Your wife, your husband? Are you delighting your accountability partner, your Christian family? Or is it evil, wicked, sinful people that are finding delight in what you do? Wow, what a powerful question. What a powerful thing to realize that Judas was doing something, and the only people who delighted in what he was doing were the very people trying to kill Jesus. Be careful who is finding delight in what you're doing. It's interesting, in this particular day, we see how the actions of the religious leaders were evil, evidenced by the fact that they had to do them in secret. The religious leaders had to go around in secret and do these things. Religious. Remember, we talked about religion versus relationship? Religious people have to do things in secret. When it comes to relationship, there's no secrets, guys. So are there any actions that you're doing, any thoughts, words, deeds that you feel like you have to hide, that you couldn't share with anyone? Are you worried about people's reactions to what you're doing? If either of those ring true in your life, that means there's probably some sin, evil, or wicked things going on. That's a tough pill to swallow today on day 3 of our journey. But betrayal, sin, and wickedness is always done in secret. So if there's any secret sin in your life, get it out. Confess it. Call somebody, talk to somebody, write it down, text somebody, I don't know, send a letter, do something. But get it out in the open. That's day 3. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Last Supper, one of the most powerful and intimate moments Jesus had with his disciples. Look forward to spending the time with you then. Have a great day.